Hello everyone. Bună ziua. Here, I'm glad that you came, and I will try in the following 30 minutes that I was given to entertain you. It will be very different than anyone else that will come here, just because what I do is talk. That's my job. Everyone has his own job. Mine is to talk, and mine is to inspire. And the reason I'm sharing with you my details is that I have a bet with Dumitru that no one will call me. Hence my phone number. It's my true number. Yeah. You will not call me. Why? Well, either I'm not that good or you just think I'm too busy. Please remind me that I need to tell you that I'm not that busy, and those of you who will follow me on social networks will actually see I'm not, especially on Instagram. Okay. I was asked to talk about creativity, and I was asked to talk why should companies foster, encourage creativity. The success of my talks is usually the dialogue I have with the audience. But you know what's funny? It's not really a dialogue, it's a monologue that I do by telling you that in just a few minutes I will ask you a question and I will ask you to answer. I just forget every time to ask you the question and I just go on and on and on. I would like this time to be different, although it will not be, and ask you to answer. Why is that? Because you are all right now sitting kind of in your comfort zone. And I will explain. How many of you are sitting next to someone they don't know? Let me help you. Look around. So let me ask you a different way. How many of you sit next to someone that you already know? And that would be almost all of you. And why is that? Please explain to me, why would you come to an event that offers you a diversity of people? A diversity of people in way of disciplines, in way of age, in way of class or interest, whatever it is. And still, the most comfortable thing to do is to sit next to someone that you know, that you don't need to introduce yourself. You know everything about them, they know about you. And my question again would be, so why are you here? Now you would say we came here, you would say you came here to listen to me. That is nice, but I saw a long list of speakers that will speak here today. And if I know something about creativity, that this is not creative. What you're doing right now is exactly the opposite of being creative. And then I would ask you if you want to, just shout out, what is creativity? How would you describe creativity? Is creativity a simple description, or is it maybe a feeling? Is it a thought? Is it a skill? What is creativity for you personally? And as far as I know, you are almost in the most creative arena of Moldova. I say almost just because I know Viorica is somewhere here and I don't want her to hit me, because there is hardcore as well, which is all about creativity. So ask yourself, if this is one of the most creative places, and creativity, oh, there's Viorica. She's here. You all hardcore, by the way?
Yes.
If not, please go to hardcore, it's not that far away, and sit in. Get into your body. What is the true sense of creativity? So what is creativity? How would you describe it? So before I speak about what would companies do, and believe me, they say they want to do, they don't do. And I think by your answer, what is creativity, you will understand by yourselves why companies don't handle creativity. So what is creativity for you?
Freedom.
Freedom.
A new challenge that terrifies you.
Money. Money. Okay.
It's a lifestyle.
Risk, sorry?
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Independence. What else is creativity?
Think of it like that. If it weren't for creativity, there wouldn't be evolution.
Interesting. Very interesting. I want to add words to what you say. So, creativity in a way is what you're doing right now. But the one thing I think you're doing kind of a little bit wrong is you try and bullseye hit what I think creativity is. And I want to free you to begin with about creativity. Creativity would be anything that you would think is creative. And there is no one on earth that will tell you that you are wrong. It's almost all the answers are correct. Problem is, we don't say them. The problem is that most of you who sit here silent, for sure, have at least one word to share with us. A one word, but you don't speak. And you know why you don't speak? Not because you're afraid of me. You think everyone else will think you're stupid. And that is the problem. Creativity is being stupid. Creativity is being different. Creativity is doing everything opposite. It's making mistakes. Mistakes are creativity. You know why I know this? You know how many products and technology was born out of a simple mistake? Someone connected the wires wrong. Someone wrote the code wrong, and all of a sudden, it was a great success. Creativity is based on making mistakes. By geniuses and by stupid. This is why free yourself. I love, who said freedom? It's so correct. I did not think about it, I just want to say, I'm just building on it. Freedom. Freedom because all the answers are correct. Stop being afraid of saying your mind because you think what others would think. It's like I'm telling you, take a risk, but in reality, you've got nothing to lose. Think about that for a second. How many times did you negotiate when you had nothing to lose? What was the feeling of making a negotiation when you have nothing to? You go to ask for a raise, a bigger salary, and you have nothing to, meaning you go into the room and you say, sorry, fuck it, he can fire me, I don't care. How was the negotiation then? How did you feel? When you go to a room for negotiating and you say, I've got nothing to lose. You're strong, you're empowered, you're not afraid. Same as creativity. If you agree with me that creativity is based, as a fact, on making mistakes, how can a company endorse, want creativity? Give me an example of one CEO, manager in a company that says, I want my department to do mistakes. What are you taught all your life? From your parents, to kindergarten, to school, don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake. So how can you be creative? And you know what's amazing? I came up with all of this just now. Nothing, listen, there are people here who know me. And they know I have never ever spoken about creativity, although I live creativity as a lifestyle all my life. This is creativity. When I show you that I practice what I tell, meaning I could stand here and there is no way I would fail because all the answers are right. I just need to stand here, look serious enough, speak my truth, and that's it. This is how you do it. This is the art of storytelling. This is why I will be, at the end of my lecture, the best speaker of today. There will be not one of you. Should you get a feedback, you will not get a feedback, let me tell you. They don't do it. But if they would, you will remember. And this comes to teach you. People don't give you compliments for free. People don't go to you and say, hey, I think you're the best. If you start thinking you're the best, when you are brave enough to say you're the best, the first thing that happens is that you start believing it. How many times in your life Did you say something that was even, sorry to say, a lie enough times to the point that you actually thought that was the honest truth? And when you say it like I do, with the passion, with the power, which is a lot what creativity is. Creativity is power, is a force that should be harnessed for whatever cause or reason. But what you need to do is give yourself a simple chance to fail. And failure, from where I come from, is a way of life. And if I talk startups, and that's really my life, startups are 96% failure statistically. It means that 96% of whomever calls himself a startup would fail first year of operation. They're gone. They fade away and no one hears about them. That is statistic for you. So if your business is about failure, then what do you have to lose? When you say to yourself, I have nothing to lose, I'm going to fail anyway, would you wake up for such a job? But if the job requirement is to fail, hey, that's a great job. What's the risk? So tell me again, which company in the world will endorse, will say, yes, I want creativity. It just doesn't make sense. This is why, for the question, do companies should? Yes. Do? No. Now think again. When you recruit to a new company, when you recruit to a company, you start bottom of the ladder. You get a job, and then you work, and you can advance and progress and go up and up. But when you start down here, what is expected of you? Simply do what you're told. But creativity is exactly the opposite. It's making mistakes. It's to do what I think should be done. I'm expected to come with new ideas because this is creativity. You always hear this, go outside the box. What is this box? This box is the frame that we all agree upon. This is how things should work. And going out of it is saying, hey, I don't want to do what everyone does. I want to venture out and try it. And I do endorse and I encourage you, please, go one time in your life outside the box. Just note, don't go too far because you will not find the box to return to. But venture out of the box. And everyone that you will check in the history books, which is called an innovator, is someone who went against the rules. The rules are built against mistakes. If creativity is doing a mistake, hence no chance. It's as simple as that. And I learned all this now. I have never ever was asked to give a lecture about creativity. So just kind of sit. How am I doing so far? Am I doing good? Do I make sense? That's the art of storytelling. This is what you need to master. Plus creativity. Plus living this fear of what you will think about me. Because you could have sat here right now and go, boo, boo, and I would still think I'm doing an amazing job, just not for the right audience. There is no way I can fail if I truly believe in what I talk about. And all those people that you call lunatics, mad people, these are startuppers 101, the best ever. They make sense only to them and their parents maybe. That's it. But they do great things. Amazing things. And I hope, I truly hope, you will not, but maybe, you will really get this motivation just to check what I'm saying. But I say it's so nice that you will not check. But please check how many of the innovation that we all use, of humanity uses for so long are based on mistakes, are based on people that were called name cuckoo. No one believed. But this is history in the making. There will always be people like that. Just ask yourself that. Should companies push, motivate for creativity? Absolutely yes. And now I need to solve the quandary, the Pandora box. So is there creativity in companies or not? Is Intel creative? Facebook creative? Google creative? Are they creative? Cisco creative? Tell me, do you think those companies are creative? Is Mold Telecom, Mold Cell creative? Is Premier Energy creative? Are those companies creative? Do you just a yes or a no? Not creative. Yes, creative.
Financially creative.
Financially, by the way, there is financial creativity. Maybe a little. Maybe in the progress. Maybe will be. Maybe intending to be. Maybe you just ask them. Maybe in a country like Moldova, where most people are kind of accessible, maybe you should ask them. Maybe you will kind of bring them to a realization that maybe so. I can tell you one thing. You have never met anyone like me. You have not met anyone that actually ignited something in your brain just for this lecture. You will not remember my lecture tomorrow. It is okay. It's not something that you should. Those of you who want to remember right now are either taking a picture of my details just to check who is this crazy guy talking so much, or maybe sending me a message right now as we speak. No one sent me, relax. Maybe some of you sent me an invitation on LinkedIn or started to follow me on Instagram. I don't know if you do that. If you do, I don't care why. It's not up to me. So, I want to tell you that first of all the companies I mentioned are dealing with creativity because creativity grows within the company. Yes, and when you are in the low level, you are supposed to follow the orders, like in the army. But also in the army, as you go up the ranks, you are given more freedom to take decisions. You are requested or at least expected to do some moves, financially, marketing, sales, management. Of course there is creativity. Of course they try to invent themselves new. Now I allow myself to say, just sitting with a brainstorming session with the CEO of Mold Telecom, with Alexandru, on Tuesday, I think it was. So I was in the room for 4 hours. And what I heard was a lot about creativity. And creativity financially, and creativity management-wise, HR-wise, sales-wise, marketing-wise, business development. What is the business development if not creativity? Do you know what a business development manager does? I'll tell you the one thing he doesn't do. He does not go and bring work that the company is doing right now. He does sales and marketing for things the company does not have right now. And when he returns and says to the R&D, the research and development manager, this is what I told our customer that we have. The R&D manager goes, what the hell did you do? How could you send this? We don't have it. And the right CEO should say, great job, make it. And this is how you scale up. This is how you develop the business. So of course all the companies have creativity. But the question that we're dealing with, do they do it consciously? Is it under a plan? Well, most yes. Of course the big ones, the international ones I've mentioned for sure. They're aware of creativity much more than I am, and for a longer time for sure. So if we agree about what I said until now about creativity, and just add that creativity has a lot about new. And I come from a country where startups are actually an industry. We have right now, as you're all sitting comfortably here, about 6,000 to 8,000 registered startups, meaning LTD. Not the one bootstrapped at home that no one knows about, the registered announced one. 6,000 to 8,000. That is within a community, a nation that numbers nearing 10 million. That's us. So let's not argue, 5 times bigger than you, 4 times bigger than you. Now you can do the numbers. And I will not ask you how many startups you have in Moldova. It's not important. It's not nearing the number I just mentioned. And you know what it is? I'll tell you what. We have, first of all, a sense of urgency. We are a country at war at all times. We are surrounded by our brothers who love us to death, literally. We don't have a choice. Either we fight or we perish. Do you know that there is nationality called Israeli and religion called Jewish? Separate the two. There are, of course, more Jewish people than Israelis. Jewish people in the entire globe, walking the earth, put together. Throw me a number, how many we are. Any number is right. 20 million. Is it 50? 100. Okay, so we are put together 16.5 million. 16.5 million, but we make noise of 1 billion. We make noise. You know why you make noise? Okay.
Yeah, because single oil hurts.
Because?
Single oil hurts.
Because when you are left alone at home and you hear noise and you walk in the dark, you go, hey, hey. This is what we do. We make noise. We make noise because we believe it helps us. It helps us to do the one thing that all of you do without admitting, for sure all startups do, and many of the businesses, one thing, survive. And if you think about it, this is what we do as humanity. This is what we do as companies, as startups. For sure the startups survive. And a word about startups. That is creativity in the essence. Startups. People who have no clue about business come up with an idea they hope is a need that many share and decide to make a solution, preferably technology. So a startup needs to be compliant for 2 things. Innovation, without getting into the terminology. Innovation and technology. 2 things a startup needs to have. Different than a small business, a startup does not have the first clue about the market. As an example, a small business would be someone who's doing a certain job, a hairdresser, works in a supermarket, and he decides to have his own shop, a chain, but he comes from the business. You don't need to teach him about the market. Same is if you walk the street, I don't remember the street of the market, and those ladies that sit on the sidewalk and sell flowers, they sell fruits, they know by the day, by the hour of day, by the season of the year, how much they will sell, and they do not even go to school. Because they have street smarts, and you don't teach them anything. They will tell you which flower will sell the most on what hour of the day in the season of the year. You don't know it. They're brilliant. Startups, they're not there. These are the small businesses that you hear about. Startups, well, they say, hey, why do you sit on the sidewalk? Sit at home, air conditioned, have yourself an e-shop and people will buy. You will sell and that's it. They have no clue which flower to sell. They don't know what's the best seller. They don't know when right time. They just give a platform that will serve. Hence, they don't care about the flower. But they need the technology there, which is why startups do the market survey. They have no clue. Hence, for you, the explanation, what is a small business, should you say, hey, I have a startup, but you're selling shirts. No, you're not a startup. But if your shirt has fibers with internet inside, then you have technology. It's very simple. And when I say new, well, you know, on every product, aside of software, you will file for a patent, right? And a patent is for a one. So how could it be there are so many chairs? How could it be so many tables, so many drapes, so many windows, so many of everything, so many TVs, so many screens? If there is a patent, how can be so many? Do you know the answer? Well, in patent world, or in legal terms, or in law, you can protect this, but it cannot be one of a kind, because humanity decided they want many chairs of different kinds. So you don't patent the chair as a chair, meaning a surface with 4 legs. You can patent the shape. The material you can patent. This is just to explain this part. So why don't you patent a software? Because most of us, to create software until AI came into our lives, was to take something commonly done by someone else, put on it our colors and flavors and use it, but it's not ours to begin with. Hence, shared software. Open source software. But when you develop a software that has an algorithm, so on the algorithm, you can file for a patent. So there are countries right now in the world that says, if you file for a software, not gonna work. If you file for an algorithm, does. But this is innovation, and that is making something new. By the way, creativity is also coming with a new idea, hence on financial. This is why the business model, you heard this term, business model? Business model refers to one thing. How am I going to do money? That's a business model. Very simple, just remember this. So, what's your business model? It asks you how you want to make money. In startup world, it means to the investor, how I'm going to get my money back. I'm giving you money, right? I'm investing in you. You are familiar with anyone here with a startup in the audience? 1, 2, 4. Welcome to Moldova. You understand. And I don't know about time, but you will sit with me 5 minutes. You know what I do usually. When you will sit in the end, I will ask the audience if they want me to stop. I'm giving you a spoiler. They will not like it. Because what they are getting right now, they cannot read on the internet, on TikTok, on YouTube. They still have TikTok because as of last week, United States totally banned TikTok. There is no TikTok no more in the United States. Which is for me, I don't know, I was one of those people who could not imagine that 150 million Americans using this app will allow this to happen. But even in the big democracy of the world, there is no more TikTok. And there is honestly people that believe that the Chinese, so rather not deep into politics. Okay, going back to where I was. I will take a shift because I need to go to work here. I want to try and kind of loosen up what holds you back for trying or taking the risk of going towards startups, which is my life, my livelihood, are startups. And for me, it will always be that startups, first of all, as people, very, very different than the rest of humanity. I don't know if you, aside from listening to the statistics of how hard it is to have a startup, to have a startup means that you need to start and kind of open your chakra to be creative with coming with a new idea or improving something that is already here. It's also eligible. So, changing something that you know to the better or different, or coming up with a new solution. How do you do that? Let me try that. First of all, you become more attentive of your surroundings. And if you hear someone from yourself or your family or someone around who says, for instance, help, I had enough with the traffic in Chisinau. Help, I was late for the 1,000th time for a meeting because I couldn't find parking. You take a breath and you say to yourself, shit, parking is a bitch in Chisinau. We need to do something about it. Usually, this is where you leave it. Then starts the other side of the brain. So, come on, it's too much. Let's rest, let's take a drink, let's think about it, let's discuss it tomorrow. Leave it for now. And you actually leave it for now. Startuppers, they will drag themselves in the call to find a piece of paper, write the idea there in the morning, not being able even to read what they wrote, but at least something will resonate with you. They do what most people don't do. They follow what you will call an idea, a dream, or simply try and make the first step towards realizing what they think someone else needs for a simple reason. Why? Please explain to me. Why would you like to be a startupper? Why would you like to have a new? Why would you like to create new technology that no one tried before? That there is no probability, there is no 100% that anyone will ever use it, that you will ever actually reach the point that you will have a product, that you will actually have. Do you understand that startup investors, what you call angels, you heard the term before, angel investors, why are they called angels? Did you ever see an angel? Right, you haven't seen those people as well. They're just a myth around you. To make it even harder for you, they even have a network. No one is there, but they have a network. Angels, those people, invest in people. You would like to say people's ideas in people. Thank God, what we do in startup, in business, is about people. People are the one creating. Still, people are the one coming with ideas, developing technology, going to the market, validating the problem, validating a solution, finding first adopters, users that use it. They have no day and no night. Salary, forget about it. They live out of youth. They sleep in the office. They have nothing. And look at history. Look at Galileo Galilei, Michelangelo. Go, learn your history. Those people had nothing. Still, they were motivated on the one thing. Do you know what it is? Belief. Belief, that's nice. Something more simple. What? Who said money? Being rich. I want to tell you that if the one thing that you will do, you will want, you will dare in starting your startup is to become rich, you are on the right path. Not world peace, not democracy, no nothing, just being rich. rich. It's absolutely fine. There is no other way. You can convince me, having no day, no night, don't have a salary, going against the odds, being the last, everyone is more smarter than you, more richer than you. Nothing can convince you and motivate you more than being rich. So start dreaming of being rich and allow yourself to be creative, meaning make a mistake, not the life or death one. Don't jump into traffic telling, hey Tal, you said to take a risk. No, don't go to extreme. Don't be stupid. A little bit stupid. Be a believer. Allow yourself. Don't think what other thinks. There is no way you can get into humans' mind and know what they think. And when you are targeting yourself, when you program yourself to be nice to everyone, you will fail. When you try to think what the other thinks, you will fail. That's a note for men. You will fail trying to think what a woman thinks. There is no chance in hell you can ever come close. Just don't do it. Handle what you can handle. When you take a risk, it's your risk. It's your mistake. It's your creativity. Because it will be your money, your richness, your famous. It's you. Allow yourself. Tell yourself, what's the worst that can happen? I will get a no. No one will shame you. No one will laugh at you. And even if they do, they laugh at themselves, being scared of doing what you're willing to do. So, go home. The next time you come to such event, you come with a target, with a mission. You don't go to any meetings anymore in your life without deciding and knowing what you stand to gain. And the worst that can happen will be a no, would be a failure. But you learn. You learn from that. And it is okay to fail. No one will grant you failure if you will not allow yourself to try, to venture out. And the only thing when someone asks you, why do you do that? Hey, I'm creative. That's your new excuse now. I'm just freaking creative. I don't see anyone getting mad at you for being creative as an excuse to what you do. No one will give you anything for free. People are derived on interest. And God made us all without the ability of X-ray, looking into someone else's mind. Because if that was the case, within 5 minutes, this entire lecture was done and we were all drinking wine. You will know why I'm here, I will know why you're here, and we're done. But this is what you do your entire life when you meet people. This is what you do when you date, when you go for a job interview, when you meet people. It's just to understand, what the hell are you here? What do you want? Maybe try a new tactic. Come to a meeting and say, hey, before you say anything, I want to tell you why I'm here. Amazingly, this meeting will end in 22 minutes. Try it. Think outside the box. Allow yourself to fail. I'm not saying this as a joke, because it's not that risky to say to someone simply why I'm here. Be direct. Be honest to a point. But don't think that you are so interesting to the world. It's not all about the facts that you know and don't know, it's how you say them. It's what you're telling people, but more so is how you tell it. The only reason you don't touch your phones right now and your eyes are centered is because your brain in some of it says, listen, we can actually get something from this guy. It is clear there's no other reason, because you would go out, there's air conditioning, spoiler also outside. I don't know about the wine, nobody's going there anyway. Be mature, grow up. When you were all kids, your parents asked you at one point in your life, what do you want to be when you grow up? So I have a news flash for you, you have grown up. You're You're supposed to know what you want to do, what you want to become, but you need to allow yourself to live your potential. And how many times did your parents go to school and came back with a sad face saying, the teacher said, oh, Shane, the kid is full of potential, you should use it more. Enough. When will you use it? When will you stand up and feel and know and understand your full potential? It will not start unless I kick your ass to do that. And this is your wake-up call. This is your red or blue pill from Matrix. Go see the movie. And I will end here. Any of you seen Matrix, the movie? Just see one. Don't see the rest of bullshit. One. And the whole story is about a someone who feels something is off. He is different, but he cannot dream that far to think he's the one. That's Neo. And then comes Morpheus, the one person who believes in the person, not in the cause of where this person would want to go, in the person being able to deliver the promise. This is what you need next to you. This is the person you need to take and hold close to you. This person who believes in you, who sees your full potential and pushes you. Because everyone else will stop you at bay. Because they want you to be same like them. And you hated when your parents said, why are you not like him, like her? Why is she doing so well at school? Why are you not doing so well at school? Enough. You are almost near the age when you will say to your kids, just remember how it was for you. Don't stop. Don't hold back. The only thing that will happen, that there will be a one time in your life when you will say, shit, I wasted 20 years. And I say to you, don't say it. Don't say I wasted. Take it from me wrong. Because there is a reason you woke up one day and said, now I'm going to start. And the rest is not interested. Tell yourself, it doesn't matter what this person did before. It's important what he's willing to do now. It's about you. I can tell you, from seeing what I'm seeing in the last, I would say, few months that I'm here kind of often, since March, I would say, was the first time, and then I visited already 4 or 5 times here. You are ready for a change. You just need an S-keeper like me. You need someone who would believe that you have the potential and you have the skills to go all the way. But I cannot do it when you hold back all the time. When you break, stop breaking. Stop breaking. Be creative, have courage, try out, fail, take a risk. It's not the end of the world if you fail. And I'm sure that not over 5 years from now, to the end of this year, beginning of the next, and we're going to have started Moldova by March, things are going to look different, and just remember, it's all about you. I want to thank you for listening to me, thank you for inviting me, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Audience has a question? One question. Yeah? Okay.
How did you get so good at speaking?
Oh, you want to answer?
Yes, I will answer like this, I think you hear me. Or like this. I always knew, I know to do one thing. I can get myself out of any situation by talking. I knew really that I can go to extremes and I will find a way. I just need time. And you know that when you start a conversation about something, especially when you're guilty of something, it takes time until you kind of get into the rhythm. And then you have it. I have it just very quick. I get to the point very quick. I work with hundreds, maybe thousands of starters. Just think where I am. I'm on the verge of everything that you will meet in years from now. I see that today, and I see people. I don't talk to the AI. I speak to people that make it. Brilliant people, weird people, creative people. People who are not afraid to take a risk. And my only help for them would be to push them forward as a one, believe in them as a two, and then direct them by words. I have learned something very simple. I know that words activate hormones in the body. Those hormones in the body are responsible for different things. As the simplest example I will give you, I can talk to you about a very nice dinner I had yesterday, and I can start describing that the steak was just amazing, and I put on the mouche, it was just amazing, and then I know, well, they kind of pleasured me and brought me some, again, I had some prenza, and that was amazing, but it was so hot, and it melted, and your mouth is watering. There's no predicament here. No prenza, no mouche, nothing. In the same way I know, I have learned by science, simple science, how to make people write me at the end. You're super inspiring. And I know that some of you will in days write me, Tal, I was negotiating for something, I was talking to something, and all of a sudden, I heard you. And that's my biggest gift. That's my biggest reward. My biggest reward is just making you take a one step in a direction that until now was just in the darkness, and just took your flashlight and oh, it's there, and you walk. You at least allowed yourself a first step. These are not just words now. This is reality. And it's not for everyone. Not everyone should have a start. And it is okay, it doesn't say anything about you. It's not a failure. Well, it is in my country. Not in yours. Still, and for the coming century, allow yourself, okay?